Here are my ideas and explanations about the strange behaviors of Venus. Keep in mind that these ideas are my own and don't represent the established narrative. No one really knows the answers to these questions. Here is my attempt to widen the field of thought on this subject. Venus is very unique in that it is upside down. It appears it didn't form in place as it is. Venus appears to be either a captured transient object or it might have suffered a cataclysmic event. No one can know, but I would guess that Venus is a captured object that slowly drifted in from the Oort cloud or beyond. There is a proposal that the rotation slowed and started to reverse. I would suggest that this is unlikely for reasons I will explain later in the video. Here's the part where I'll lose you, but all patterns lead towards this conclusion. Keep an open mind. In one sense, it is complex. In another, it is very simple. A new proposed axiom: planets spin from within. The central cores of all celestial bodies spin at great speed, which powers the planet or star to rotate about an axis. This spin is caused by the resonance of gravity and the toroidal field it creates. The field rotates at the speed of light, circling the center around the equator. Out of the equator, a wide-reaching disk of gravity density forms. This giant plate-like field emanates from the center of the planet, where it is both spinning at the speed of light and time-lensing to a stop near the center. The bigger the planet, the more gravitational power it has to turn itself, so the larger the planet, the faster it rotates. This is the craziest part. The center spins at the speed of light, but at the same time, space-time has slowed to a complete halt. The center is much further away than the diameter would suggest. In some places, the atmosphere of Venus is spinning faster than the speed of sound. It is spinning in the same direction as the planet, especially near the equator. Planets aren't cooling. Their temperatures are maintained by their cores. I would suggest that Venus did not suffer a runaway greenhouse. Instead, the majority of its heat comes from within. Massive objects tend to mute the rotations of smaller objects orbiting them. The orbiting objects stop spinning when they get close enough to the gravitational field. The sun's gravity slows down the mantle or shell of Venus. Planets turn against the resistance of the sun. There is violent subterranean chaos resulting in extreme volcanic disruption on the surface of Venus. If there was any water, it has been steamed off the planet. Venus is 95% the size of Earth. Venus is almost as dense as Earth. Earth is the densest of all objects in the solar system. It has an enormous metallic core with inner-orbiting metallic dynamos creating a huge magnetic field, which has sheltered mankind and all its life forms for eons. Venus's density would suggest it has a massive metallic core. It might be that magnetic fields are required to maintain water on planets. It might therefore also be that water might cool the Earth's surface and therefore be the main factor in creating an environment that can sustain life. I would propose that Venus has a magnetic field that continually discharges into the Sun's magnetic field as it breaks the Sun's magnetic lines of flux. Being upside down might turn the planet into a battery in a gigantic electro-solar circuit that would potentially cook the planet. There have been ideas proposed of floating cities on Venus. Although it sounds great, it would be a nightmare knowing what lurks below. Imagine balloon cities of only plants. Imagine plants that could create a balloon-like structure that were hollow vacuums. There's so much carbon dioxide on Venus that you might be able to grow plants if you can float high enough above the molten hellscape below, but the problem is water. Venus is drier than anywhere on Earth. It would be hard to imagine any form of life existing on Venus.
For more fun explanations and new ideas about our universe, pick up a copy of Time Waves on the Shores of Forever, paradigm-shifting solutions to the mysteries of the universe. Available in paperback book at Amazon.com.